Good evening, good evening, good evening. I don't know what this voice is. Welcome to Strange Invasion Assault on the Barrier Peaks. Welcome to Salty Sweet Games. I am the aforementioned Salty.
And I'm Sweet.
And these various assorted spices are our friends. Before we go around and say hi to everyone and find out who they're playing, we have some quick channel shout outs. Yes, we do. First off, as always, and forever, into the future and beyond, Roll20, a virtual tabletop of choice, which unites gamers across any distance with easy-to-use tools that you can run straight from your web browser for free. That's right, and then we have some gorgeous maps in there today that you can upload. You can upload your own maps or buy maps from the marketplace where they have musical playlists that you can peruse. I still don't know what this voice is, but they have all sorts of things to enhance your game that you play with your friends on the internet. That's right. Our next sponsor, we're an affiliate with them, Dice Envy. If you like those physical click-clacks, those chunky boys, which are apparently what I'm calling dice now and forever, you can go to Dice Envy and use our code Salty Sweet, all caps, one word, for 10% off of some beautiful dice made of, you know, you got your regular polymer, you got your wood, you got your stone, you got your gemstone. They have all sorts of stuff. They come out with new designs like every 2 weeks or something. It's awesome. So if you feel the need for some physical polyhedrals in your life, that's where I would go. I'm just saying. And last but not least, our newest sponsor, Grinding Coffee Co., a Black and LGBTQ plus owned coffee, what do you want to call them? Entrepreneurs?
Companies?
I mean, company's fine. Key.
Yeah, they are entrepreneurs.
Yes.
They are a startup company of their own.
All organic, delicious. I'm drinking right now, even though it's 6:15. But my birthday's tomorrow, so I can do what I want.
That would be the Mexico blend that you're enjoying tonight, Lauren.
It's delicious. That is a perfect quote right now. Great question, Lauren. Thanks, Lauren. That's my eternal mood. So if you go to their website, you can get 13% off if you use the code Salty Sweet Games, all caps, one word. And you can try out some. That's what I did. I just tried out their bestseller packs, and they have all been delicious. I think my favorite so far is Peru. It's so yummy. Last but not least, we here at Salty Sweet Games use safety tools, lines, veils, X and no cards, stars and wishes, and content warnings, because while the players are going to be put through hell, and that's part of the fun of playing RPGs with your friends, I said characters, right? The characters are going to be put through hell. Don't say players, Lauren. The players are your friends. We want our players to be comfortable and safe and really have a great time, and they're our priority. If you would like to affect the game, there are donation options down below. Basically, you click on an image, it'll take you to our Streamlabs tip jar, and you can donate the amount that is down there. We are moving toward a regular cast compensation plan, thanks to all of you. You know, besides the sub badges and the emotes, like, y'all have been so supportive, so we want to make sure that we're giving back to the people who are creating alongside us, and that's what we want to do. So, yeah. So if you want to support the channel, those are a wide variety of options for you. And now let's introduce our characters, because we're here to play a game. I am playing Dulcinea, also known as Sweets. Though, like, only I think one person has called her that so far, but it's like a really cute name, so I just wanted to tell you. She is an Eladrin swashbuckler rogue, exiled from the Feywild. You don't need to worry about it. She didn't do anything bad. And also trying to see what Ardent's into. Speaking of Ardent.
Yeah. Hey. I play Ardent, who is a Ajamar paladin. A bit of a stick in the mud, I think we've at least compared to all the others in this party. Uses she, they pronouns. I also use she, they pronouns. I think they just want to know what the fuck's going on. They had a weird dream. Shit happened.
Shit does happen.
Yeah, they're just here now. She's just here, chilling. It's fine.
Great. Good. See? Everybody here is fine so far. Why don't we hop down to Jim? Jim, you're fine, right?
Oh yes, this is fine. Everything's just fine.
Fine. Good. Who are you playing?
I wish I knew. No. Good evening, folks. I'm Jim. I use he/him pronouns, and I am playing Devlin Archon, Angry Dirt Wizard, who also uses he/him pronouns. He's perfectly fine. He is not at all worried about the possible ramifications of things that happened ages ago. He's only worried about what's happening in the here and now, because that's totally what he's focused on right now.
Yeah.
And I'm just very pleased to be back.
Awesome. So good to see you. And let's hop over to Gnome. Hi, Gnome.
Hi. I miss you
I
all
missed
so much.
you.
I'm so excited to play. Especially because Allie definitely warned us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could level up today.
Or.
Could. Yeah, because or. So we're going to figure out what or is going to be. My name's Gnome, and I play not a gnome. I play Idoso, who's a halfling ranger rogue. I almost forgot, even though I literally also just said it like 2 minutes ago.
And we have to remind you every time that you have halfling luck.
Yes,
because you're not a
halfling
gnome.
luck. I
luck.
should. Okay, I'm gonna go put that in my notes right now. Halfling luck. Done. Nailed it.
Perf. Beautiful. Okay, yeah. That's how it goes. Those are our characters. Let's hop over to our Dungeon Master. Oh, Dungeon Master!
You called? Hey, I just want to. Did I hear right earlier? Did you say it's your birthday?
It's my birthday tomorrow.
It is Lauren's birthday.
I'm turning
tomorrow.
21. Thank you so much. I know I don't look a day over 18, but those are just camera tricks.
I'm just. Hey, am I?
So humble. So humble.
There's a thought bubble over my head that right now says, "Am I going to jail?"
Okay. Who the hell are you? What are you? You're Allyson Robinson, right?
I am, that's right. And I am super excited to be back among the lofty barrier peaks with you all this evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I will be your guide on this grim expedition to the borderlands of fantasy and weird science. And where have we been? Well, if you recall last time, Ardent, the champion of the great city of Isranthus, awoke from a horrifying dream. One in which the deva who raised her, Ezen, was trapped in some strange, dark, futuristic chapel of some kind, apparently crucified to the wall by a damp moss that pierced his wings and skin and writhed out toward Ardent. As she tried to save him, she found herself overwhelmed by dozens of creatures the size of children, covered in the same green moss, their eyes a dull, glossy black. And she was pulled down among them to some gruesome fate that was averted only by her awakening. The next morning, their seventh out from Kedron's Crag and the hearth of their patron, Lady Bronwyn Barrelhelm, our heroes continued their journey north under a cold, gray sky. Not long after midday, they finally arrived at Giant's Gorge, where the road crosses the river Rindereth some 200 feet below. The bridge at Giant's Gorge was a marvel of engineering, spanning the gorge in its entirety and allowing resupply of the watchtower at High Moraine, that northernmost outpost built to guard against a repeat of the planar incursion that nearly destroyed this world 4 generations ago. Now, though, as characters find it, the bridge is in ruins, its center span destroyed by some kind of explosion. This, according to Flubrabast, the gnome engineer in charge of the team that's making repairs to the bridge. Their work had been going smoothly, he said, until 2 days ago when an ice storm damaged the temporary rope bridge that they had strung up across the gorge to facilitate repairs. And then, just last night, the night before the characters' arrival, the crane that the team was using to lower construction materials down to rebuild the piers was somehow toppled over into the gorge. The repair crew had strung this rope bridge across to help it repairs, but it might not be safe to cross anymore. Left by Flubberbass to their investigation, Idoso and Devlin walked out onto the remains of the bridge span, now a bridge to nowhere. And there, Idoso found something that only he could find: a planar portal. And across the gorge, on the opposite broken bridge span, he saw another one. And that is where we're going to begin tonight's episode, entitled Pandemonium.
We all got an
Idoso.
advantage from Snow Dogs before you start.
Thanks, Snow Dogs. I'm about to blow this advantage right now. Thanks, buddy.
Okay, back in it.
Idoso looks like a halfling child would on Yule Day when everybody's opening presents from Grandpappy, right? He's excited. He's so excited. Devlin! Look! Do you see it?
You're seeing something there, yes?
No. Hey, okay.
If you give me a moment, I can. I'll see if I can.
No. Devlin, watch this.
Watch.
Famous last words. I would like to stand on the edge of the bridge,
Right?
and do a backflip into the portal. I will blow advantage on that so hard.
Wow.
You're gonna die.
Wow.
You're gonna die at the top of this episode.
And so...
Is there any chance of seeing this coming and trying to prevent a sudden death from happening?
I don't know. Is there, Idoso?
Halflings got 9 lives, right? Add luck and land on their feet.
It's a long way down. It's a long way down. Why don't we show how long down it is with a switch to the map overlay? In case anybody's wondering
It is.
what Idoso's doing.
And so we see the halfling.
It was like 300 feet. It's fine.
It is. We see him step out toward the very edge of this bridge. Now we know that there are footprints, and in fact hoofprints, that go out toward appear to just stop there, as if somebody just rode right off into empty space. Idoso, are you moving fast enough that Devlin would not be able to catch you?
This is an excitable, young,
Slippery.
excitable halfling. He can certainly try.
I think if you say it when you're already facing me and you're just sort of in that position, like on the very edge, then I probably wouldn't be able to, unless I'm like right next to you, which I might be. I might try to grab you if I suddenly, I probably wouldn't.
I mean,
wouldn't
you
notice until
gotta,
you started
you gotta
moving.
beat my acrobatics of like a +9.
Yeah,
like-
probably not.
Just like
Slippery
meta,
muscle.
just like a meta, like totally casual question. Did you make sure the portal was active?
Nope.
Cool. I'm gonna hold Cthulhu and pray for you.
My hubris. God.
I'm so sorry.
Right.
Let him do it.
I will try to reach out and grab him, but we'll see.
All right. Let's then have a Jim. Would it be dexterity? I think against Idoso's acrobatics.
Yeah, I guess so.
Let's just roll the dice and see
We're
what
just gonna roll it.
happens.
We're just gonna roll this. Okay. So I got. Why did?
Yeah, this is 22.
Yeah, 22.
Yeah.
It's 22. Okay, cool.
Looks good.
Yeah.
If you crit,
Let me see.
That
here.
would be
Oh, no, it's not
fate, and
rolling.
you would
Let me
have
see.
to honor it.
Let me see
I
if
would
will
honor
actually.
it.
I'm trying to. Oh, there it is. Okay.
No,
There it goes.
No.
That's-
That's an 8. Sorry, we're on the map
Yeah.
screen, so we don't have the rolls coming up. So just call them
Yeah.
out if you remember.
call him out.
We will
Okay.
call them out.
Devlin.
Idoso-
Wait, you're gonna watch this. It's gonna be great. I promise.
What are you going to
Idoso,
do?
as the wizard is asking the question, Idoso has taken a couple of shuffle steps back to the very edge of the bridge, and he leaps backward and does a perfectly executed backflip. We hear Devlin cry out and no, and reaching out to grab. It's probably loud enough that it attracts the attention of Ardent and Dulcie just up the hill and others.
Elf ears perk up.
And let's begin, Idoso, with you. You, in the middle of your backflip, notice the strangest thing. It's as if all the lights go out. Would you make a dex save for me, please?
Oh, it's a save. I don't know if you have anything to saves.
I don't. I do. I get a +1, and so it automatically added. Why do I feel like that I need to blow that advantage? Right? Right? Right?
Yeah.
Cool. We'll go with that.
Okay.
Nicely done.
Thank
And-
you, Snow Dogs. Bless you, friend.
And even though it has gone from midday to night, your feet still land perfectly flat on solid ground. When you look down, you see bridge. In fact, you see a bridge that is whole and complete. In front of you now, where you were looking at Devlin and seeing the road and looking back east toward the camp, you see, well, nothing. You see dull, rocky ground, a dark gray sky, as if it is a barely moonlit night. And you feel a stiff breeze at your back. You begin to turn around just to get your bearings, and you realize that the ground is solid, but it's slick. There's no snow, but there are patches of ice, and they're almost impossible to see in this darkness. And behind you, in other words, looking out toward the middle of the bridge, where on the prime material plane there was just nothing, the empty gorge. Here, the bridge goes out about 20 feet, and then a forest begins. It is a thick forest made up of tangled types of trees and vines. And you can barely see, nailed to the trunk of one of the trees directly ahead of you, out in the middle of this bridge, a piece of parchment, and it's flapping in the wind.
carefully. Well, I'd like to go grab it.
You walk out onto a little further onto the bridge. You can hear your the sort of an echo of your boots against the wooden planks of the bridge, even through the wind. And as you get close enough, you see. I'll share it with all of our players. So you should be able to see it eventually on the overlay as well. You see this piece of parchment.
Okay.
It appears to be torn out of a book of some kind, and in great letters at the top it says "Pandemonium and its Frontiers." Above that is perhaps the title of the book, "The Flora of the Outer Plains, Volume 2."
Do the pictures look familiar to me?
Some of them do. Because of your planar travels, you're relatively familiar with many of the outer planes. I should ask: Has Idoso visited the plane of Pandemonium before?
I think that would be too convenient to say yes. It's been to lots. I don't think he's been to this one.
Yeah. You're certainly familiar with the fact that in these spaces that are very close to the edges of they're very close to portals where the edges of planes intersect with one another, that it's not unusual for plants and even animals, creatures from one side or the other to sort of make their way across. The things that live here on the borderlands between the planes are strangely familiar and yet also just plain strange.
Is that like writing? The Miss Booth?
Yes.
Is that
it
like that
is.
handwritten or
Ms. Booth.
printed? Look, remember, grand old intelligence of 0. Words are boring. Pictures way better.
It is those. It looks like black ink on the parchment page, where the rest of the ink has faded to a dull brown over years of use.
Okay. And do I get the sense that this is like, is it like a timey-wimey thing? Is it like, can I still like turning like to look back? Is the portal still there to go back?
That's a good question. Make a survival check for me, please. Yeah. You can see, as you know, your senses now have adjusted to this place. You can see that the shimmer in the air at about that place where you came through. And you imagine that if you were just to walk back, that you would perhaps be able to find yourself where you left from.
Okay. And I think one other thing that Idoso would kind of be looking for as he like pulls the paper down, right, and kind of folds it up and stuffs it in his vest. Are there footprints? Are there, aside from his, are the horse prints still there?
Yeah. With the 22 check, you look down and you do see, although the ground it doesn't hold footprints or hoof prints well, you do see evidence that someone has passed through here. And you have to assume that with this kind of wind, it must be relatively recently. There's one other thing that you do find, though. As you pull the piece of parchment down, you find hanging on the nail behind the parchment a loop, a looped sort of bundle of red twine. It's not very thick at all. It's practically string, but it's red, and you'd estimate that there are maybe 150 feet of it here.
And it's just spooled there? Or does it look like it was... Okay.
It is. It just, looks like someone sort of wrapped it around their arm and hung it there on that nail.
Okay. Can I take it?
Sure.
Okay. Idoso will take it. Maybe kind of like squirrel it around his body, because it's 150 feet of string. It's fine for a halfling. One last thing. Beast sense. What is how about that range, the primeval awareness?
Yes.
So I will expend a spell. Oh God. Okay. We need to sleep again. But it's worth, right? Right? Yes. So he gets 1 minute to sense whether any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead are present within 1 mile, or within up to 6 miles if you are in your favored terrain, which is still technically the bonus. Because I'm in favored terrain still. Although it's pandemonium, so it's not. Right?
In this case, it is not, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird here.
You reach out with that sense, much as you did not long ago. You've attempted this just recently as you passed through this place, or as you came to this place, as you were coming up toward the bridge itself. And at this point, you do not sense any of those types of creatures within 1 mile of you.
Okay, then that being said, got some stuff. Not quite sure. Maybe the paper says that this is the realm of pandemonium. Not sure if that's true or not. Time to go back though. It's kind of creepy over here. So, Idoso's gonna kind of make his way back to the portal, and if it, because why not? Let's have him just sprint and do a flip back out there.
That sounds great. Why don't we?
Little light crawler action there. Just.
I love it. Let us, before we see the outcome of that, let's come back to the prime material plane, where Devlin, you have just seen your friend backflip into space and almost immediately disappear, just vanish into thin air.
I just sort of see him. I'm like, of course. And I just am going to turn. I'm going to head to the edge, quickly head to the edge of the bridge. Not the front edge. Sorry, the rail. North rail. I'm going to look down. How far away are? Can I see Ardent and Dulcie from here?
Oh yes, you can. They're 50 feet up the hill from you.
Oh, good, excellent. That means they're in range. I just sort of shake my head, and I'm just sort of close my eyes. I point at them. I'm going to point at Ardent, and I just sort of mutter, and I'm going to whisper these words.
Nothing?
Yes, no. These whispered words are going to come to Ardent, and those words are, It also just dumped through a portal at the edge of the bridge.
Yeah, so I think like Ardent and Dulcie have been like looking down and
Mhm.
checking out stuff.
Yeah, definitely checking out stuff.
Uh-huh. And I think
Looking
Ardent
down.
like straightens up with when the message comes through.
Oh,
You also can reply if you wish.
Yeah. I think it's just kind of like a small moment, and then back is just like, we'll be right there in a moment.
If I have a second, I'm going to start ritual casting. Well, if I have a second, by which I mean 10 minutes from me to get up here, I'm going to start ritual casting detect magic. So
will
that
take
I can
me 6 seconds to get where I
That's true.
am to where you are.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
Maybe,
So I think
maybe
Ardent
unrealistic.
looks over at Dulcie. So, it also found a portal. It also jumped into the portal. We should probably go see this portal.
So at Idoso found a portal. Dulcie was gone. Her ears like were already like up ever since he left this plane. Just not really knowing exactly what was going on. But yeah, she's full on sprinting to where Devlin is.
Ardent's like, starts
I am the Flash.
jogging behind.
You skid down the rocky and snowy hill and come to the end of the fine edge of the bridge and make your way out to where Devlin is standing, looking out over the rail.
Where is it?
Sort of like, it's right here. I say, just sort of gesturing at the, just for making the sort of the circle around it.
I take out a ball bearing. I chuck it through. Hopefully
Yeah.
it hits Idoso in the head.
You take your ball bearing out and throw it, and you watch it vanish. And at just the moment when you would imagine if the bridge were there and the portal were not, at just the moment that you imagine that ball bearing would have hit the bridge, the ground tremors for a moment. There's and it lasts about 5 or 8 seconds or so. It's not enough to throw you off your feet, but you can especially feel it out here on the edge of the bridge as it kind of moves up and down with the tremoring of the earth.
Can I try and use Arcana to figure out what's going on?
Yes, you may.
I'm not good at
Make an
nature, but
Arcana
can I roll nature? Because I feel like it's both.
Yeah.
I'll use it advantage.
Yeah,
I'll
19.
do it. 18.
Yeah. The way I kind of envision this is that you both experience that happening, and as soon as the ground stops shaking, you kind of turn to each other and you look at each other for a moment, and you both talk for just a second, and you quickly realize, or you conclude, at least you think, maybe you don't know anything that would create that kind of a magical effect as sort of with that as a cause, with the tossing of that ball bearing through the portal.
What about something in the earth far away? Like a drill? That Dulcie definitely knows about drills. There are monsters that drill. I know about other
Sure.
kinds of drilling. So.
Sure. Yeah, that's a possibility here.
We should add my terrible, terrible double entendres to the content warnings. Okay.
Next time.
Well, I mean, we can either wait for him or we can go after him. I know which I'm voting for.
That moment, as Devlin is getting ready to reply, the earth begins to shake again. It's stronger this time. It lasts, but it's shorter. It only lasts about 5 seconds. And up the hill from you to the south, if you're looking from where you stand on the end of the bridge there, you can see some rocks sort of slide down the steep cliff, down into the gorge below.
Well, that's getting more frequent. Is the portal where somebody could, like, if somebody stepped out of it, would they step onto the bridge or would they step into the gap?
They'd step onto the bridge.
Oh.
It's right on the edge.
I'm gonna go through the portal. I'll just poke my head in, make sure he's alright.
Okay. You're gonna just step right off into the...
I'm gonna stick my head through.
I don't think that it's the sort of thing that... It's not like looking through a window.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
I'm gonna jump on in.
All right.
Not backflipping, just walking.
Dulcie walks through, and just as with Idoso, Devlin, you all see her vanish. And she's gone.
Right. So that's 2 of them now.
So it occurs to me that if this is how, and I'm just sort of looking down, and there were hoof prints that led up to this point, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it occurs to me if this must be how they got across. Well, assuming they went across.
Horses and all.
Yes. So, one way or the other, this is the way forward.
Well,
One presumes. Though what deals they've made in doing so, that's the question.
I suppose is whether we want to try to test it without with the possibility of not be able to go back, or if we just commit.
There is... No. I might have a way to... I might have a way to send 1 or 2 of us back if we find ourselves somewhere else. Not on this plane. So it's possible. We might have a way.
Devlin, you would probably also remember at this point that you are about to enter perhaps the most inhospitable ecosystem on this planet, and B, your pack animals with your tents and your furs and snow gear and climbing gear and all of those things are back in the camp.
So I just sort of look over and like, so there's a possibility if this is one way, then they won't be. Then we'll have to follow them in. But I would recommend if we go through that we probably should bring we should probably just bring our stuff because, well, we'll be following the other party for good or ill.
Let's wait a few minutes, see if they come back up.
Very well. I'm gonna start working on detect magic. We'll see if anything. We'll see if they come out before that's done.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that fun pace back and forth in the snow, where it just starts creating like a rut in the snow, and like the frozen dirt that's starting to melt just because of the way that the rain has been. So it's just like this.
Well, Ardent, you are imagining yourself doing that, as Devlin has said very well then, and you settle in for at least a brief wait when there is an explosion back toward the camp. And from where you're standing here at the end of the bridge, you see here an explosion of rock and dust and dirt and trees and boulders. And as the dust clears, you see the tail end of something that looks like let's
what?
see. Do you see that
fuck.
No.
In chat?
in the Roll20 chat?
Oh dear. Oh dear.
It
got me
is
some goose pimples. I'm so excited.
It is massive. It's impossible for you to see how massive it is because all you're seeing at this point is the tail end of it as it moves with startling speed toward the camp where the repair crew and your horses and your new friend Cherry are waiting unawares. Let's go back to the pandemonium, shall we?
Yeah.
Ooh, we're safer here. We might as well stay.
Yeah, it's nice. It's cozy.
Yeah, a little chilly.
Idoso,
And blankets.
Idoso, you've just taken the coil of twine, of red twine, off of the tree and put it over your shoulder. And you're turning around to walk back toward the portal entrance when Dulcie appears.
And as she passes through the portal, it's the same thing as when she does her own. She looks way, way more fey. And there's an obvious aura of magic, but it maybe somewhat more slowly fades this time until she's back to her usual self. What the feck?
Faded quite quickly there. Blame it on pandemonium.
What are you doing in here, Dosa?
Oh, well, I found a portal. And I went through it.
I know. That's what you do. And I love that about you. But at the risk of sounding like the team ma'am, Ardent, we should get back in case there's any timey-wimey shite going on.
Yeah, I thought of that after I jumped through.
Right.
But at least I thought of it this time. But look, I did find this, and it might help. And like, he'll pull out the sheet of torn paper.
I see a cipher. I see a cipher. I see a cipher. Hey,
Dulcie,
hey.
As Idoso shows you the sheet, you remember for a moment, you missed it when he said it the first time, pandemonium, and now you see it here on this piece of parchment. Make an Arcana check, please.
I'll use an advantage because I'm not good at int stuff, except when I am, and it saves us all. So I'm gonna go ahead and use an advantage on it. 18 words.
It wouldn't have taken much because you know The thing that you know Pandemonium for is that it is the current home of the Queen of
Nope.
Air and Darkness and her unseelie court. And in fact, you know what really gives it away to you? It's seeing that handwritten note over the shadow birch leaf on the Pandemonium, MSB EWF. And you know that that stands for, may she be eternally worshipped and feared, which is the chant, the mantra of the Queen's unseelie court.
Somehow all the wind like fades and all she can hear is her breathing and her heartbeat.
Oi, Dulcie. You're right there. It's just a fancy piece of paper.
I'm going to grab Idoso by the hand and mom walk him out of here.
Wait, but what?
Nope.
As far as the rope?
Nope. We're leaving. We're leaving. We're leaving.
She said mom walk, folks.
Yeah, that's what I'm not contesting that because we all know what mom walk is.
Mm-hmm.
I can totally see it.
There is no discussion.
Nope. Yes, ma'am.
I can totally see it. Dulcie, you have Idoso by the wrist and you are marching with speed and purpose back toward the portal. And you can feel yourself getting closer and closer.
Don't you
and
dare.
Closer.
Don't do it. Don't you do it. Don't do it. This was a
and
trap.
You're sure that you should have been through it by now.
Oh my god, screw you, Allie! Screw you!
Idoso, you saw it first, of course, that shimmer in the air where you both entered it's not gone, but it has that staticky quality to it that you have observed elsewhere in these wildlands in the barrier peaks, which were once, of course, crisscrossed by planar portals during the original planar incursion. There's so much interference and so many echoes of portals back and forth. For the moment, at least, you both would seem to be stuck here.
Dulcie, what'd you do to get in here? Did you break it?
No.
Oh, I didn't break it. It was definitely there. It was much bigger. Like, at least big enough to carry you inside it.
Just wait. I'm like...
I mean, we could go find another?
I'm like staring at it. Is it coming back like it's like got a short and it might connect again, or is it dead?
Are you able to see portals in the way that Idoso is?
Probably not. I have minor portal capabilities due to being an Eladrin.
Yeah, okay. I think it's this for you. This is more confusing. It should be there, but it's just not. For Idoso, though, I think that you do have this sense. It is almost like an electrical short, right? It's kind of buzzing in and out. It's never fully there. There are parts of it that exist and then that pass, and other parts of it ripple into existence. There might be a rhythm to it if you were to wait a few moments and watch, but there might not be. It's hard to say.
Ooh,
and the wind howls through this otherworldly gorge here on the edge of the prime material plane and the plane of Pandemonium.
So, you want us to go find another? Because chances are there's probably got to be another around here.
So, from what I know about Pandemonium, like, just, like, going for a stroll is probably not good. Right?
Pandemonium is not a pleasant place. The Queen of Air and Darkness and her unseelie court are among the kinder and gentler of the inhabitants of the various levels of Pandemonium. You know that you're clearly on the frontier. There would not be trees like this. Most of Pandemonium isn't like this, right? It's rocky and icy and flat. So you're clearly on the border between the two. And you also know, I think, Dulcie, that the Queen's Palace is not near one of the borders. It's some distance from there.
Where'd you find the twine?
Well, it was on the same tree that the note was on, right over there. And it'll kind of like point. Do you think they go together? Did somebody leave it? Well, obviously somebody had to leave it. But like, why? And if it was the other group, because something definitely came through here, and he kind of like points down to, well, some sort of track. Not sure what it is, but something came through here. They could have left it.
This place can get confusing.
Confusion how?
You get lost.
I don't get lost.
Even you might get lost here.
Well,
I think we can assume that the other side of the portal isn't too far away, because what would be the point otherwise? So we're going to put this twine back. We're going to hold on to it as we go, in case the others decide to hop in here after us.
that's a good idea. I mean, we could also write them a note. And I think I've got some more rope in my bag. Like actual rope. Adventure rope. 50 feet's worth of hempen rope. I also have like 3 10-foot poles.
As you're... Oh, go ahead.
I'm just wondering if does that look like it was recently inked in, the signs at the bottom?
It's certainly newer than the text of the page. It looks to be in a similar ink and similar hand to the initialed phrase over the shadow birch leaf. And as Dulcie and Idoso sit in this cold and forlorn place, we will come back to a place that is equally cold and just as forlorn, but a bit more active at the moment. Devlin, Ardent, you have just seen a massive purple worm burst out of solid rock and move at top speed, far faster than you could run, in fact, back toward the camp. What would you like to do?
Yep. Ardent is having a time just watching this thing go in. We have to go help them.
Yeah. He doesn't say anything. He just starts heading in that direction.
Yep. We're running in that direction.
All right. It takes you a minute, perhaps, and you are running, Ardent, not flying.
Yeah, I am running
Yeah.
right now.
Okay, yeah, it takes you a minute, perhaps, and as you sort of come around, that where there were once trees here, kind of along the road, where I'm kind of showing on the map now, those trees are splinters, and as is, both of the huge tents that made up this camp. You see this creature. As it lays in the sort of, it could lay in that circular basin and make a comfortable bed there, but that's not what it's doing. It is wreaking havoc. You see the bloodied remains of people and perhaps horses, and what is most terrifying, though, is the screech that it makes every time it attacks. In fact, you see it now come down on a person. There was many of the workers have run to the watchtower and climbed to the top of the tower, hoping to escape this creature. And you see one who is kind of running behind, and the creature, it's amazing how fast it moves for its speed, comes down on it and swallows it whole. It is completely swallowed by it. So that'll put you here. And if you're going to join the fray, I'll ask for initiative rolls from you, please.
Oh, fine. Wow.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
God.
a 5
Oh,
and
my.
a 5, everybody.
So good.
5 and a
Yep.
5.
It's fine.
Yeah. Let's try this. How does this sound to us? Yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that fits the moment, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So you are observed. You're seeing this creature wreak havoc on the camp, and you have the opportunity to move first. It's not necessarily because you have the highest initiative rolls, but because it's not spotted you yet.
Cool. Yeah.
I think, Ardent, do you have the higher dex? Is that right?
I
Mhm.
believe I
Yes.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Devlin will ask us one question as we are heading
Yeah.
this direction, if I might. And it's just real quick. It's, are we slaying or evacuating?
Evacuating.
All right. I can buy us a minute.
Yeah. And Ardent is gonna turn on angel mode, and as like in the midst of running, just start to sprout those wings and just launch up into the air towards, heading towards the tower.
Mm-hmm. And you, even though it's midday, the brightness of Ardent's glory shines in this small basin and illuminates all of the rocks around. You are able to, I think we can say you're able to make it all the way to the tower if you'd like to.
Yeah. That's basically it. That's my action. So. I
Okay.
am here.
All right. You, as you settle into the highest level of the tower, it's filled with workers, and you're able to do a quick nose count, and you realize that it looks as though you have everyone here with the only ones that are missing at this point are the two who were out at the warming tent where you were previously. Flubberbast is nowhere to be seen, nor is Cherry. And I'm going to retcon any other, I just want to be clear, any other NPC deaths at this point. There were other horses here, and that's what's prompted the attack.
Okay.
And so, yeah, so you've got two workers who are still back at the warming tent and safe for now. Flubberbast, nowhere to be seen. Cherry, nowhere to be seen. Your horses, nowhere to be seen.
Cool. And so how many workers is that's in this group right now?
Yeah, there's 9.
Okay. So Ardent like swoops in and lands, doing this count very quickly in their head. Puts, right. Devlin and I are going to distract it. I need all of you, when I give a signal, for you to be. So if the warming tent seems to be, had seemed to be untouched, direct them that way. Basically, it's just stay in here until we can give you an opening, and that's the goal here.
Okay. There are frightened nods around the group. There's one who is an older woman. She's kind of grizzled looking. You may have seen her working stone there in the camp, and she says, "Got a crossbow, but that's all we've got."
That's
she kind
fine.
of holds up an old crossbow.
Yeah, kind of like nods, like seriously, not like dismissing. He's like, that's fine. When you're out there, you want to run fast you can. Don't run in a straight line though. Zigzag. Make it more difficult for tracking, if that's a thing. And like kind of like pokes head out to like look towards thing. Has no visible eyes, right?
Yeah, right. No visible eyes at all.
Okay, so Ardent is therefore assuming it's sensing by vibrations and does not want them to be going straight in a line, where it'd be really easy to be like, and we're going to project where they're going.
Like Pac-Man them? You mean?
Yeah, no.
Walk. Okay. She says, "All right, got it. I'll wait until you've distracted it."
Yeah, and Ardent will nod and then like swing back out onto the top of the tower, and that'll be the end of her turn.
Okay. Devlin.
Okay, so which spell I'm using this round is going to depend on distance. Can I get within 60 feet of it this round, or is that going to take a little longer?
Easily.
All right. I start running forward. As I do, I'm just sort of raising up my hands with the staff in my hand, and in one hand, and pointing, and see him just sort of chanting out, "Its praises to Artemis," and I'm going to cast Banishment on it.
Very good.
It must make a charisma saving throw.
Correct.
It needs a 14.
All right. Let's
I love magic.
see.
Magic is so good.
What's his
I don't
charisma?
know. There's 4.
Yeah, that sounds right. Bye.
Okay. So
It rolls
something-
a 12.
So kind of, sort of, I think as I'm coming up here, I will just sort of as I say, as this wave of energy goes out. One good thing about this place, it's full of portals, and sort of drag one across the worm.
Queen.
And we've got 1 minute before it
Awesome.
pops back, assuming that it's native to this plane.
Sweet.
If it's native to another plane, we're fine, but I think worms are from here.
Yes. Yes. So it is almost as if this this other worm appears. It's like a worm made of static, and it just moves up behind the purple worm, and it begins to swallow it tail first. And as it does, it just leaves nothing in its wake. It's empty behind it, and as if at the very last moment it realizes what's happening to it, it screeches out with a sound that will echo in your ears for the rest of your lives. And then there is silence.
Cool. All right.
1 minute.
At this point, I think Ardent's gonna, now knowing there's 1 minute, looking towards the warming tent, looking towards down the road. She had a moment and she goes, change of plans. Head down the other side of the road. We're going to try to get the other two from the warming tent down your way as well. You need to hit high ground, not anywhere where it can easily jump down on you. We're going to try to draw it down that way. The dead end.
All right. There's a plateau about a quarter of a mile back down the road. We can climb up off the trail and take shelter there.
Right, fast now. And
she just nods, and she's waving, and they're following her.
yeah. As soon as she sees like the first one go out the door, she's swooping down towards Devlin. So 1 minute. Will it appear right here again?
Look at the description real
Yes.
quick.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
As
Yeah.
long as it's not occupied.
Yeah. Right here.
Have an idea. We draw it back out towards that warming tent. We need to go warn those other two people to get out of the way. If that portal's still open, we can get it through that way. If not, it goes through and down that cliff.
Understood. And I'm just going to start moving in that direction.
And the clock is ticking. By the time you get to the warming tent, you have only seconds left of the minute.
So there are a couple people who are here.
Yes, you find two people. They are, in fact, they're not in the warming tent at all, but they're huddled behind rocks here, and they've been kind of right here on the edge of the hill, and they've been looking down, kind of hiding behind cover there and watching what's happened in the camp. They see you coming.
I'm calling, as soon as I spot eyes on them, I'm calling for them to go get up on the higher ground again. Like, get the fuck up.
Okay, yeah, they see you motioning. They're about to come towards you. They see you motioning, and then they look at each other, and they start running, and they're scrambling up the hillside here, kind of trying to get up to the top of this low ridge.
Cool. Yeah, Ardent just wants them out of the way.
Devlin, what are you doing at this moment?
I think that I'm trying to find a position where I can appropriately stand to try to draw this thing out, basically. So it's probably very close to the entrance of the bridge. I think.
So you're somewhere around in this area, would you say?
Yeah. Just trying to figure out tactically where the best positioning here is.
Yeah. You're positioning yourself there, and you even, although you're not sure there's much use for it, you feel yourself getting into sort of a battle crouch. And you sort of turn around. Oh, go ahead, please.
I think I'm actually going to be in one of these areas of spot of land right next to the bridge, but not actually on it. I think that's probably going to be the the place to be if we're trying to herd it onto the bridge. For me,
Yeah,
anyway.
to sort of, would you say to the north or to the south?
I'm gonna say. I think there's a little more. I see a little more land to run around on the south side, so I'm gonna hit the south side.
Okay. Okay, good. And you're looking for just the right place, and you think you found it, and you turn around to get into that battle mode, and at that moment you see a couple of things. Well, actually, make a perception check, and I'll tell you how many of these things you see.
Fur cap tie.
Ooh,
that is
Ardent,
very
you can
low.
make one
That
as
is
well.
a 3.
If you'd like. Yeah. You both see, even with the 3, Devlin, you see beginning now to make their way down the road back toward you, back toward the bridge, right about here where you were when you first attacked. You see Cherry Redding running with horses and horses' reins in her hands and running toward you. And you also, just a few moments after that, see wabam, that purple worm reappear in the space where it disappeared just a few moments ago. Cherry is running as fast as she can and still hold on to the. Actually, let me retcon that. She's on horseback, and she's got the other horse's reins in hand, and she is riding toward you at the. She's riding toward the bridge. The worm is facing the other direction now. It was moving to the east when you banished it, and so it's facing in that direction, and we're back in initiative.
Hey, cool. Fine. Jesus Christ.
That's a natural 20, everyone.
Yes, that was a natural 20. Let's leave this pastoral scene for just a moment and make our way back to the plane of pandemonium, where Idoso and Dulcie are completely unawares.
And hating every second of it.
No, we totally made like a campfire and we're toasting
No!
marshmallows right now. It's fine. It's all good. So we've tied the twine, yeah?
Right, yeah.
So we don't get lost.
Mm-hmm. You can, sense portals, right? That's a thing you do.
Oh, I mean, typically, yes. But once per short rest. Bit tapped out of that, to be honest. We could try to find. There's usually a way to the Feywild. We could probably find one of those. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like ants.
In the time that's passed, as we've tied the twine, has the portal that's actually close to us looked like it's going to stabilize, or is it still fritzing out?
Yeah, you've been watching it, and there does seem to be a pattern to it, and you can make an Arcana check. Idoso, if you have another check that's specific to planar travel, you can do that as well.
What am I making?
Arcana.
Okay. 15.
Yeah. Even without Idoso, without your check, you think it is stabilizing. there's something that caused it to destabilize, but it seems to be stabilizing. You think in another 3 minutes, 5 at the most, that that it should be stable enough again that you'd feel safe walking through it.
We're gonna go, or we just keep looking around?
I don't know that there's much to say. I mean, we could get we could get across.
Right, but we don't even have a sense of where the other party went.
Right, if the wind's blowing. There's probably no tracks to follow through here.
No, there were, but not anymore.
Fun.
The wind continues to blow.
Well, we might as well go back and tell them we're all right and make sure, 50 years hasn't gone by.
Oh yeah, the time thing. Yeah, I guess. All right. We'll go back. I think we're going back. Maybe.
Yeah.
What?
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. You wait another 3.5 minutes or so, and eventually, sort of like ripples in a pond, the portal stabilizes and it begins to. It's now. Idoso, at least to your eyes, it's completely visible. Dulcie, you can kind of see it there as well, just sort of as you've seen it before, but it's stable. It looks as though you could safely pass back through. It looks just like it did when you came through the first time.
Yeah, great. I flipped through it. Well, if we're gonna go back, we gotta go back in style, right?
I think
Come on.
with the relief of getting the hell out of here, yeah, I'll show off too. It's like a cartwheel into a somersault.
Yes. Yep. Oh, this is really, really lovely.
You pop out somewhere else.
Too.
You
rock us.
And thank you so much, Sparkle Fizz, for the donations of an alien device and advantage and temporary hit points for Key. That's awesome. And we will, see. Yeah, we'll see what happens with the alien device here. But as the two of you, in perfect synchrony of gymnastics, kind of bounce back through the portal, you appear, and Dulcie, you stick the landing, and Idoso, you stick it as well, and you're both looking for your friends, and what you see is, the first thing you see is Cherry Redding riding like hell with all of the horses toward you. She's maybe 75 feet away at this point, riding straight toward you. Idoso, you see Devlin just to the south of the end of the bridge where you've just come out. And Ardent, you're still up near the warming tent, is that right?
Yeah, flying still.
Yes, okay. And Ardent is, of course, hard to miss. And then, of course, you notice that things look very different from the way that they looked when you bounced through just a few moments ago.
Devlin, you totally missed it. You weren't even paying attention.
Get off the bridge!
Okay.
And as you do, you see the cloud of dust from this massive creature as it's beginning to wheel back around toward, from down a bit down the road here, back around toward the camp, with the sound of the thundering hoofbeats. And now would be a good time for you both to roll initiative.
Yay! I have advantage because of my rapier of warning. Wow, 3 5s for everybody. That's great. Let's see if I can roll a spicy 5. No, it's a 22.
Oh, you ruined it.
I ruined it. Oh no!
Nice. Dulcie, you have the opportunity to act first.
Okay, great. So do I see Mr. Worm?
Yes, you do. The worm, if we're still looking at the map, the worm is back here. It's making its way back up the road toward the lot of you.
Cool. I'm just like, wish we had stayed in Pandemonium. I'm going to hear what Devlin said about the bridge. Yeah. Where does Cherry look like she's going with our horses?
She's riding toward you.
Like toward the bridge where there's... Why?
It got us horses to leave.
Why? Okay. I'm going to... stand on the bridge? Like shiny, shiny bait? If she's coming this way with the horses, I don't want her to go through there. So I'm going to start like directing her to like go a different way and like not ride off the bridge into nothing or through a portal to she don't know where, right? Yes, I'm just air traffic controlling because that's what I'm good for.
Out here at the end of the bridge, then?
Like here, like right.
Okay.
Before it starts to drop off.
Okay. She sees you waving. She'll be right there with you by next round.
No, I don't. I don't want her near me. And I'll ready something if I have to. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll ready something.
Okay. Very good. You all had 5s, didn't you? So Ardent, I think. Idoso,
no,
what's your dex? Idoso's your dex. Yeah, go ahead then.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, there's the thing. How far away is it? In the feats?
It's here. Yep, roughly 125 feet, maybe. It can.
Well, yeah. Why not? Let's go. We'll fire. As a bonus action, I'm gonna go ahead and use my planar warrior, and as my action, I'm gonna fire my 2 shots, and there will be a disadvantage because it's a 320 range. So first shot. No, did it?
Nope.
It's taking its own sweet time.
Nope, that's not it at all. Cool.
Need the attack.
There we go. Oh.
There it is.
Nice.
There it is. Okay.
Oh well, that's not. It's not even doubling up. Disadvantage.
Oh,
cool. Even
roll
worse.
A natural one, so re-roll it. I still don't.
Yeah,
well, I mean, 12 is still the.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, 2 12s.
Cool. Well, that's the first attack. Let's go ahead and roll 2 more times. Good golly.
Hey.
Oh, hey. Cool. Well, 13.
You
pew, pew.
You see of the. So there's that's 2 shots, right?
Yeah, it's 2 shots.
You see the first one. It just sort of glances off of the purple side of it and ricochets off. It's hard as steel. The other one, though, happens to go right into its mouth, which is a pretty big target, so not all that difficult to hit. And
did
what
it
else?
do damage? Did it hit? Like, was that a hit, or did it just swallow it?
It was a hit. It doesn't seem to have affected it in any way, but it was a hit.
Okay. Because then if it's a hit, it also is going to take. It turns all of that damage into force damage and takes an additional 1d8 force damage.
Cool.
Oh, all right. Roll that force damage.
That's the planar part.
Nice.
Pew, 4.
So 15 total.
Yes.
Yeah. Like a mosquito on an orc's backside. Sorry, it's the best thing that I can think of.
Wading through the swamplands as the sun sets to the west.
Indeed, majestic in that way.
It's so majestic. Love it.
Ardent.
Cool. Yeah. Does Cherry look like she is starting to go a different way, or is she still
Does it?
just
It
heading
looks like
right?
she's beginning to turn up toward the warming tent. A
Okay,
kind of
cool.
gradual rise up toward the warming tent.
Cool. In that case, then I want this thing to keep coming straight towards the drop off, and not follow the very large vibrations that is the horses. 3 of them. And so I think she's gonna keep flying and kind of head toward not meeting all the way, but like halfway through that distance, about where she would meet up just ahead of Cherry, essentially. And at this point, she is going to land as hard as she can, basically drawing as much noise and vibration to that particular spot that's further downwards than where Cherry's heading off.
Yeah. So closer to the bridge itself, closer to the main bridge.
So like between the main bridge and where the Worm and Cherry are, essentially want to make a huge noise there and try to be like, me, come to me.
All right. You swoop down with as much speed as you dare and land hard on the rocky, muddy, snowy ground. Anything else?
I'm just gonna then prepare an action for when this worm gets up to me.
So based on what you've seen, based on how you've seen it move before, you think that it will probably be, if it continues to move at top speed, it will be 2 to 3 rounds before it gets here.
Okay. At that case then, I think what Ardent's going to start doing is she's going to take her shield, which she does have, she doesn't use very often, and she's going to take her rope, which she also has, Adventurer's Rope TM, and she's going to start
Adventurer's Rope.
She's going to start tying a bunch of her larger, heavier objects to the shield with enough rope at the end to kind of have like a lead, essentially. So that's what she's doing. She's doing this. She's making a bundle of her shit that she has on her. Again, I think probably with a 15-foot lead to it. And that's what she's doing.
Okay.
Probably looks a little weird, but she's what she's doing right now.
Okay, great. Devlin.
All right. Well, from my position next to the bridge, it's like, all right, time to catch the worm. And I just sort of rear back, and I sort of say at it, oh no, it's wrong. That's the wrong one, Jim. Sadly, I wrote these out ahead of time. And I will pull fire from the forge to have a fireball arc forth at this thing. And it must make a dex save.
Yes.
DC 14. It will take 8d6 fire damage.
Nice.
On fail save.
It misses. It fails the save.
Nice.
Nice. We see that the Forge Master's fireball arc across this narrow valley, and it lands just behind the mouth parts of this creature and explodes. The creature, it slows to a halt and rears up, and now you can see it at its full length. It must be 4 stories tall, and maybe 10 feet around, and it screams. And as it falls back down to the earth, there is the ground everywhere shakes. And if you're standing on the bridge, you can feel the bridge shake as well. And smoke hangs around it, and there are parts of its armored side that are on fire. But it's continuing toward you.
Well, I think we got its attention.
Right, you should probably move then.
Yeah.
At this point, Cherry has kind of made that turn to the right and is up near the horses up near the warming tent. There are what are there, 5, right? I think one for each of you plus the pack horse. And she's still on horseback. She's looking down down the hill toward the rest of you, and she shouts, "What now?"
Oh God. I think Ardent just, who's still in the middle of like tying this shit together, it's just like, stay there. We're leading it back over here.
All right. And all the while, the worm continues its rush toward you. It's about here at this point. It is less than 100 feet away. Probably by the next round, it's on top of you.
Gonna start tap dancing on the bridge. Literally. Waiting for my
Awesome.
friends to leave.
Do you want to? Are you just stomping your feet, or if you're tap dancing, why don't you make a performance check?
Sure, why not? I use an advantage because I'm never gonna be in melee combat literally ever, so I'm gonna just do it again. This is 21.
Nice. All right. Anything else?
Just holding something, waiting to actually get this thing over. Some of the rest of you maybe want to move. So
Right.
it doesn't take you with it.
I can fly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on your turn you can fly.
Idoso.
Where should I go? where? I mean, to activate the thingy, the time shifter thing, is that a bonus action or an action?
It's a bonus action.
It's a bonus action? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna take 2 shots. And if it comes my way on the bridge, gonna boop boop
Okay.
disappear.
Sounds good.
Smart.
So 2 shots. Let's see. 1. And
Hey, yeah.
nice.
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 You
Nice.
have you've got your range now, and as its massive maw opens, you with your archer's eyes, you just see two particularly vulnerable looking mouth parts, and you launch off your
Cavities.
shots, which
That's totally cavity holes.
probably is. What's your total damage?
Total damage would be
23? Because there's no
6?
sneak on this.
Yeah, there's no sneak on this.
So,
Yes, 23.
yeah.
Okay. It's hard to say what effect this has on the creature because it is rushing so quickly and it is just constantly screaming now, and the ground is beginning to shake underneath all of you. It appears as though it is continuing toward the bridge, which is where you're trying to get it to come, I think. Yes.
Shuffle, ball change, shuffle, ball change, buffalo, buffalo, buffalo.
All right. Are you?
Yeah.
Idoso,
Yeah,
anything else?
No, that's it. If that thing comes, we'll just push the button.
Okay. Ardent.
Cool. So Ardent is gonna, with the shield, with a lot of weight on it, and that rope, she's gonna start hovering, and start dragging the shield with her, creating that trail of vibration and noise, down towards the bridge. What's the distance between me and, let's say, Dulcie at the bridge right now?
20 feet.
Cool. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of lead it down that way. Then again, just continuing to encourage it to get over here. And then I'm going to swoop to be right next to Dulcie, not on the bridge itself, but next to her.
Okay. Oh, so still hovering in air a little bit. Got it. Okay.
What are you doing?
Making sure you don't fall, and
I never do.
Rather, I make sure that I trust your abilities. Just don't want to risk you being eaten by a worm. That's all.
Keeps tapping, doesn't say that this is a higher risk now. Tap, 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 tappity tap.
And Devlin, what does the wizard have in store for us?
All right. Well, this verse will sound much like the previous. Sort of leaning for the angle, being next to the bridge, just to try to make certain that it's still heading this way. Once again, pulling another bit of fire from the forge. Go for Devlin, and just sort of throwing yet another fireball at this thing.
It's a dex save, yes?
It is indeed a dex save for half.
Yep.
It's a 16.
Yeah, that made it. Yeah, that made it.
Okay. Okay, so 14.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
And now is the time for Devlin, being one who cannot teleport out or fly, is now going to begin dashing for cover to the south. I think.
The south.
Well, toward because
Okay.
that's somewhere in here.
Yeah, there's not too far to go in there. You can get into these trees. There's also rocks that have sort of from rock slides down this ridge here.
Yeah.
So you can probably get up into those.
Yeah, because I know everyone else can get away quickly. I know that I can't. So I know that
Yes.
for whatever it is that Dulcie has planned. So I'm gonna move.
Yeah. Okay. You are scrambling in among those rocks and trees, and it's at this point that a couple of things happen. First, you see from back up the road here, you see a very small humanoid. It's only a moment before you realize it must be Flubberbast, with some kind of rod. He actually has it, he's actually holding it over his shoulder like this. And he stops in the middle of the road. He sets his heels apart, and out of the mouth of that thing comes a gush of smoke, and that becomes a line of flame, and within a millisecond, it explodes on the back of the worm. What kind of magic this is, it's not like anything you've ever seen. Maybe one of those alien devices. So that's the first thing, and all of you notice that. Devlin, as you're kind of moving south up into these trees, you break out into a clearing. You're just a bit above the level of the battlefield now, and you see something else. You see a pair of those strange knights that you saw a day before yesterday, making their way down the hillside on gangly legs toward toward you and the end of the bridge here. And I think that's where we're going to end our episode tonight. Oh my. Oh my.
Well,
Let's
that's
get
fine.
some
More robots to smooch.
more peaceful music to carry us into the end of our adventure. Wow, that was a thing. Let's take a deep breath and let's go around and see how everybody's thinking and feeling. And Jim, let's start with our angry dirt wizard, Devlin Archon, who's stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yes. Oh my God. Episode ends mid-worm. My God. That was a lot. I will say I really am enjoying being back. And just getting not long after we get back, this lava worm at us, purple worm. No worries. No, that was great. This is actually very cool. And I'm very I'm just very happy to see us attempting to clobber such an overwhelming thing with some degree of trying to coordinate with each other to an extent. So that's cool. And I can't wait to see what happens. This is excellent, and I just loved I love the detail on this. This is so good. So good, Allie.
Where can we find you online, Jim? What are you up to these days?
Where am I? I don't know where I am. So, the thing that I will, of my various, I am OtherDoc, both on Twitch and Twitter. And my website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find various links to various things that I do. And you can see where I stream at OtherDoc on Twitch. And the thing that I will call out this week that I'm going to be doing is actually not on my channel. It's going to be on Saturday. I'm going to be participating in Off the Table's Otterthon that they do once a month. I am going to be running a game of Everyone is John, where it's everyone is vying for control of a single character as they try to accomplish their various goals. And so I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be doing that. We're going to be kicking off Otterthon, so we'll be the first one in the afternoon. So come check that out. That's at off_the_table on Twitch. And in the meantime, folks, we'll see you next week. This is awesome.
Thanks so much, Jim. Gnome, our friendly neighborhood planewalker. How you doing?
Hi. We did stuff today, and I don't know if it's good or not. Don't know, but I love it. You gave us a purple wall. You gave us, bless you. Bless you. My name's Gnome. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram at Nomadic. I do TTRPG things and TTRPG spaces. Obviously here. Mondays is where I'm at. You can find me here. What was I doing? Thursdays. You could head over to Unmade Gaming's channel. I'm running an Expanse game. So you like dark spacey feels. I got some dark spacey feels for you. And then if you just want to like wake the heck up in the morning, head over to my channel. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. We do a morning talk show with Eris Savad and just kind of hang out, have some coffee, and wake the heckin' up.
Nice. Thank you so much. I will bid my farewells and good nights before passing it off to our hosts. I love getting to do this with these people, my friends, and tell a great story. I cannot wait to see how you get out of this one. Until then, you can find me on Twitter at Allyson Robinson with 2 L's and a Y. And you can find me here on Saturdays in our Masks of Nyarlathotep, our Call of Cthulhu, Pulp Cthulhu ongoing long-term campaign. Lauren is the GM. It is, it's like getting to live in an Indiana Jones movie for a couple of hours a week, and I love everything about it. It is at, wait, what time is it? 9 a.m. Pacific, right? And noon Eastern, thank you. So catch that here, and I will catch you around the internets and hand it back to Lauren and Kienna to close us out for the evening.
Yay! Personal stuff, real quick before we do channel things. Y'all can find me over on Twitter at Kienna Ask Best Way to Figure I'm doing, but I'm mostly just here on the channel during a regular series and during a special stream tomorrow. What about you, Lauren?
I'm Lauren, and that's Salty Ginger over on Twitter. That's pretty much where you can find what I'm doing when I'm not here. Yeah, that's it for personal stuff. For stream stuff, we will be back tomorrow at 4 Pacific to play some Dead by Daylight with friends, maybe some other games to celebrate the birthday.
It's your birthday.
It's my birthday.
Woo!
Thank you to our sponsors, Roll20, Dice Envy, Grinding Coffee Co. Couldn't do this without y'all. Really appreciate it. If you ever miss an episode, we have a YouTube. Go check it out there. We have our own custom URL now. It's very fancy.
Yay! Which I still need to update.
Yes, which we still need to update in here. We're like 15 followers away from 500, which is pretty cool.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yay.
What else? Our channel things. Otherwise, our schedule is the same as always. So games tomorrow, then we'll be back on Saturday for Masks of Nyarlathotep, Pulp Cthulhu Sunday for The Witcher Crimson and Ash, and then back here on Monday. And our big thing that we're hyping right now is we're going to be one of the first long-term Burn Bright campaigns, which is the new specific to Roll20 system designed by a lot of awesome creators. Kienna's going to be GMing. We have an awesome cast, like an awesome cast of Jess and B and Sam, and then me and Key, of course. And so we're really excited about that.
Yeah.
You can follow us on Twitter at Salty Sweet Games if we post about, our usual going live tweets and then any other time we feel like it. I think
think
we
that's it.
nailed it. We nailed it.
I think we got it. Let's
Nailed
get
it.
out of here.
It's hot.
We're gonna go raid some friends. So please stick around and chat so we can go raid. If you got the hype emote, spam that hype emote. Otherwise, just spam some hearts. Full love from us, Salt Speak Game. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you then. Otherwise, we'll see you next week for the next episode of Strange Invasion.
Wait, bye, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye.